All right, you've heard Prime Minister Modi. He's spoken for the better part of an hour and he has had the moment. And it was a moment you could tell from his body language, from the energy in his speech, that he was savoring it along with a lot of the karyakartas of the BJP who were there this evening in Delhi. And why not? What has just been done in Maharashtra is beyond anybody's expectations. Forget what the BJP itself thought it was going to do. But you're seeing something that is happening, that the government made history at the center with the third term. But let's not kid ourselves, they wanted that third term with 272 plus. It came with 244. Haryana has corrected that trend, and Maharashtra is not a win, it's a wave victory. This is not a we just got past, we just sort of hung in there. This is a wave that has happened. Just imagine this, the pre-poll alliance between the three has taken 231 seats. With the BJP alone is near double the number of all the opponents combined. Okay, closer to in fact triple the number of all the opponents combined. Decimation. So the Congress has really struggled desperately in Maharashtra. That's a Congress unit now in tatters. Congress leadership in Maharashtra is in tatters. A lot of restructuring will have to happen there. Sharad Pawar, ladies and gentlemen, is not the big loser today. He has done 6 decades of this. He couldn't make it to become Prime Minister, but he served in all sorts of posts barring that. Supriya Sule is the person in trouble today. She'll have to figure out whether she joins the BJP, joins the Congress, or goes back to her cousin, okay, or hangs in there for a bit longer, and she's going to struggle if she does. Uddhav Thackeray, he's got a long time to go in politics. His son has some time to go in politics. He's managed to win in Worli, but Milind Deora gave him a run for his money. He should not have. Aditya Thackeray should have had the sympathy wave going for him. It should have been a thumping win for him. Milind Deora, took him to the last few rounds of counting, which is something exceptional that has taken place. But let's now draw this down. Pankaj Vora is in the broadcast with me. Rakesh Sinha, MP of the BJP, joining us very shortly. And I'm expecting a few other also. Pankaj ji, I just want you to draw your attention to, because we've seen a pattern, and the pattern from the beginning involved from Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas to Vishwas, Prayas. Today the slogan is Ek hai to safe hai. The BJP has clearly decided, after their analysis of what could have gone better in the Lok Sabha elections, that this is what they needed, and that is Hindu voters.
Well, the Hindutva politics has taken a new dimension, and this slogan Ek hai to safe hai is going to be its war cry in future elections as well. This is something which suits the BJP's narrative. It also suits the kind of politics Mr. Modi has been pursuing for the last so many years. Today, when Mr. Modi spoke at the BJP headquarters, he was supremely confident. He was, Modi of the old. He made several things clear. He, showed the Congress in very dismal light. He, was able to demonstrate that how the grand old party has deviated from its original principle, where caste and creed did not matter, and the new generation leaders are now talking of caste census and all those things. And there was also a very subtle message to the RSS, where he stated that मैं जब तक एक्टिव हूँ तब तक मैं बैठने नहीं वाला. That means that he will not allow anyone to put him in the Margdarshak Mandal after he attains the age of 75, and he is going to go on and on as long as he wishes, and as long as he has energy and his body and mind are working perfectly. So the Prime Minister has emerged in this particular scene as the leader of the past, who is both astute, who is very understands ground level realities, and has been able to nail and has now set the agenda for the parliament session.
Okay, so let me ask you, is the momentum back with it? The momentum is back. It was historic. 3 times PM is a historic thing, but there was a little bit of deflation, especially in UP. Is the momentum back with Narendra Modi and the BJP?
100%. If you saw, there were people shouting Modi, Modi. This slogan shouting had, taken a back seat after the 240, result in the parliamentary elections. And in parliament also, it was BJP was the one which was ki NDA ki sarkar hai, NDA is victory. Now it is back, the focus has shifted back on Modi, and he's the rock star of Indian politics once again, and that's how he was greeted by the party workers when he went to the BJP head office today.
Okay, I want to pick on now, that's the winner, okay, and there are some other winners. Eknath Shinde, I mean, he has now proved it, sir, beyond doubt, that he is the Shiv Sena and not the Thakres.
100%. Eknath Shinde was the nuts and bolts man in the United Shiv Sena, and he is, a person who has a very good connect with the workers. Today's outcome has demonstrated that he is the person who, the Karyakartas prefer, and he is the one who is a star so far as Shiv Sena is concerned. He is the one who is expected now to lead the whatever Sena was all about ideologically, and so far as organizational muscles and all those things are concerned, everything is with Eknath Shinde, and he is the man to watch, and he could be very much be retained by the Mahayuti as the chief minister, even though BJP has got the largest number of seats, but I think it will be very difficult to ignore his claim.
Okay, so Devendra Fadnavis. Now, Devendra Fadnavis, close ties with the RSS, has been chief minister, very patiently waited, sitting as deputy chief minister for the better part of 2.5 years. What happens with him if he's not to become chief minister, you think?
In Maharashtra, the politics has been about Marathas and the Brahmins. Devendra Fadnavis is close to the RSS. He is from Nagpur. He has a lot of goodwill so far as senior leaders of the BJP are concerned. But Eknath Shinde is a Maratha. The Marathas have voted en bloc for the BJP. They have ignored Sharad Pawar and others, and it's like in 2005 when the Jats had voted for the Congress. It was very difficult for the Congress High Command to overlook the claim of Bhupinder Singh Hooda for chief ministership. Now it is extremely difficult for the BJP central leadership to ignore a Maratha for the post, and it is something which will lead to the consolidation of BJP in the state and also help
Okay, so are we repeating, are we expecting a repetition? Repetition means Eknath Shinde chief minister, Ajit Pawar as deputy chief minister, but what happens to Devendra Fadnavis? Does he get sent to Delhi, or would he prefer to stay in Maharashtra?
Well, I don't know. He was the deputy chief minister. After being the chief minister, he was appointed as a deputy chief minister, and he had accepted that gladly. There could be a role for him in Delhi. He could be inducted in the union cabinet. There was also speculation that he could be the BJP president to succeed Mr. Nadda, since Mr. Nadda's extended tenure is almost over, and BJP has not been able to arrive at any consensus. So the RSS may back him. So Devendra Fadnavis will have something or the other, but it's for his party to decide what he will get.
All right. Now the other man of the moment, Ajit Pawar. I mean, he's been deputy chief minister thrice now, believe it or not. But what's he managed to achieve right now?
He has been the best man, but never the groom. His wife, has been rooting for him, wants him to be the chief minister. But what he has achieved is that he has, what he was speaking or during the campaign was that Sharad Pawar, his uncle, was a leader of the past, and he's the man who's to watch in the future. So he's basically hijacked the entire NCP and, has got even more than what he had expected, and is someone who is now firmly in control of the organization which was headed by his uncle at one time. And this could also force for realignment, where the Sharad Pawar faction of the NCP may, in order to prolong the political career of both Sharad Pawar and also ensure safety for his daughter Supriya Sule, may merge into the Congress, and thus
Okay, so I was about to ask you the question, because all options are on the card. So it could be merged with the Congress. Why not? Why does Supriya not for say join the BJP?
It's very difficult because Sharad Pawar has, though he has on and off done business with BJP, but he comes from the Congress background. He comes from the Congress stable. His mentor YB Chavan also was a very staunch congressman, and I don't see Supriya Sule going towards BJP. This is how I view it. Now it is for her to decide whether she
Can she play a role to Ajit Pawar that a Kani Modi plays to an MK Stalin?
I would be very surprised, because the kind of strained relations the two families, your families have now, it's very difficult to bridge the gap. It is, like Alagiri and Stalin, they can never patch up. So here also I think patch up will be very difficult, and the fight will be for Baramati. Maybe they can have an understanding that for Lok Sabha it will be Supriya Sule, and for Vidhan Sabha it will be
Tough one. That's
so it's a
that's
very
a tough
difficult.
one. I think
difficult to
Ajit
say.
Pawar is now out to prove a point,
Yeah.
and he's going to go for broke even in the next Lok Sabha elections. Okay,
That's right.
okay. The other thing, Sakshana ji, I see you. I'm coming to you in a second, ma'am. I know, of course, you want to speak about your party leaders, but let me just take a word on the Thakres from Pankaj Vora. Pankaj Vora, I mean, so if you are Uddhav Thackeray, you've gone through a phase where it felt that Raj Thackeray was being groomed to take over the party. But in the end, the father chose you, and you managed to take the party, you managed to win a few seats, you managed to form a government, you became the first Thackeray to become a chief minister, something his father refused to do and never did. Then you saw your party disappear under your feet. I mean, Intelligence Bureau is reporting to you, and more than half your MLAs have disappeared into the night, didn't have a clue. Then you said, okay, in the Lok Sabha I did okay. How is he going to be feeling today?
Well, I think it's very unfortunate, but I think it's all over for him. His health has not been very good, and politically also, during the time when he was the chief minister also, there were rumors in Bombay that, it was Sharad Pawar who was actually running the show. The thing is that it is for the first time it has happened that anyone who has left Shiv Sena has won, like Eknath Shinde, and the people who left with him have also won. Earlier it was, in most instances, people who left Shiv Sena may have been able to win, like Narayan Rane did, or Sanjay Nirupam had won, or some others may have, Shagan Bhujbal, but people who left with them, I think barring one or two exceptions, none of them won. So the Matrashiri, dominance on Shiv Sena's affairs, I think is received a major setback, though there's a lot of talk in Bombay right now that the Shiv Sena cadres may come out on the streets and may protest against the result, which is not acceptable to them. But I don't see that happening, because
It hasn't happened.
because it is, the Mahayuti has won with an overwhelming majority, and in a manner in which there is no scope for any kind of protests.
Okay, but so what options does it leave? Aditya has a long way to go in politics if he stays on in it. He is now going to be an MLA. Where does he sit in the opposition? Does he have options? So I'm going to ask you the big question: does he go back? Does he try to patch up with Eknath?
I don't think that is going to happen, because they are both father and son. Uddhav and Aditya will never like their grandfather. Aditya will not like his grandfather's legacy to go to some other faction, but Eknath Shinde has virtually hijacked it. Whatever Balasaheb Thackeray stood for, has gone away from them, and they have paid the price for aligning with the Congress and NCP, which were ideologically not on the same page and were not consistent with the ideology which Balasaheb Thackeray had. So
Okay.
it's going to be very, very difficult to make a comeback, but in politics, comebacks have taken
Okay,
place, and he's young, and he is.
Okay, last quick question before I get Sakshana ji, and I have Rakesh Sinha waiting also. Now, look at the MLAs that are left in Maharashtra. So, there are about 20 in the UBT and 10 with Sharad Pawar. Pankaj Vora, realistically, will these stay? I mean, what is the temptation for them, for example, to stay with Sharad Pawar now? Power is on the other side, future now seems to be other side, momentum seems to be the other side. Do you expect that some of these numbers will actually jump ship?
They can jump ship. It is for the first time in many, many years that Maharashtra is not going to have a leader of the opposition. It's very difficult to imagine assembly where there is no.
First time in 50 years, yes.
Yeah. So there is no leader of the opposition, and I would not be surprised if both the Uddhav Thackeray faction and the Sharad Pawar faction breaks further, and some MLAs migrate towards their other factions or towards BJP.
Okay, all right. Let me get Sakshana Selgar in. Ma'am, hard luck. I know it's been a tough day. A fight is a fight. and everybody puts their heart and soul into it, hoping for better things, and sometimes it's just not your day, sometimes it's just not your month. But it's looked really bad. Now you've had time to process it with your friends and colleagues in the party. How are you all guys doing now?
First of all, I would like to congratulate Mahayuti for their success. But I have some doubt, not in mine, but all over the state. लोग ये सोच रहे हैं कि इतनी थम्पिंग मेजोरिटी कैसे? हाल ही में just before 3 hours back, DC मजीद पवार साहब told कि मैं भी सरप्राइज हूँ, शॉक हूँ, इतनी तो मैंडेट मैंने भी एक्सपेक्ट नहीं की थी. He spoke on ABP माझा. उन्होंने प्रेस में बोला, उनको खुद को नहीं लग रहा कि ये कैसे आ गया. हाँ, आने वाला था महायुति का रिजल्ट, लेकिन इतनी मेजोरिटी में ये सबको शॉक है. मैं ये नहीं कहती, आई एम नॉट ब्लेमिंग ईवीएम, बट देयर इज अ मनी स्कैम, देयर इज अ बिग बहुत बड़े पैमाने पे मनी का यूज हुआ है. और दूसरी बात, अभी कुछ स्पोक्स पर्सन ने बोला कि सुप्रिया जी में भी बीजेपी के साथ हाथ ज्वाइन कर सकती है. तो वेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी के साथ मैं बात कर रही हूँ. नेवर 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 सुप्रिया सदानंद सुरे जी कभी भी बीजेपी
नहीं, बट वो तो मैंने सवाल किया था, उन्होंने ये बोला है कि शायद कांग्रेस के साथ ज्वाइन कर सकती हैं. कांग्रेस के साथ भी नेवर नेवर.
मैं उनकी कार्यकर्ता, उनके पापा के साथ तो खड़ी रही, पवार साहब के साथ खड़ी रही, सारे लोग चले गए, पार्टी चली गई, सिंबल चला गया, उनका सब चला गया, फिर भी वो लड़ी, डटकर लड़ी. ये महाराष्ट्र की खासियत है, ये महाराष्ट्र की लीगेसी है. आई एम सो प्राउड ऑफ अबाउट दैट. उन्होंने आज भी वो लड़ना पसंद करेगी. मैंने बोला कि अभी थोड़ा डिस्कशन हुआ, पार्टी इस तरह से बुरी हाल में, फिर भी वो लोग लड़ेंगे और जरूर लड़ेंगे, क्योंकि हम संविधान के लिए लड़ते हैं, सत्य के लिए लड़ते हैं, महाराष्ट्र की लीगेसी के लिए लड़ते हैं. आज जो महायुति को मैंडेट मिला है, इतना सही मैंडेट मिला है, कैसे मिला है, उस पर विचार मंथन हमारे सीनियर लीडर जरूर करेंगे. लेकिन एज ए यूथ
but Sakshana ji, aren't you worried? Aren't you genuinely worried about the future of the party?
इतनी थम्पिंग मेजोरिटी उनको नहीं मिल सकती. मनी फ्रॉड हुआ है यहाँ पे, बहुत बड़े पैमाने पे मनी फ्रॉड हुआ है. सबका पैसा, ये सब ईडी, सीबीआई, इनकम टैक्स, सबका झोल मिला के ये सरकार सब लोगों को दबा के ये करके वो करके लाई गई हुई ये सरकार है. फिर भी ठीक है, आज उनको मिली है तो हमें.
तो फिर महाराष्ट्र में क्यों फ्रॉड हुआ, झारखंड में क्यों नहीं फ्रॉड हुआ?
इसलिए बोल रहे हैं कि मुझे आश्चर्य लग रहा है कि इतनी बड़ी मैंडेट हमें मिली है.
तो
और एक्सेस इंडिया का सर्वे देख लीजिए, इंडिया टुडे का, थिएटर का सर्वे, इतने भारी तादाद में किसी ने भी नहीं बोला था कि इतना बड़ा मैंडेट ये महायुति का मिलेगा.
Okay, but that answer. Okay, let me try to rephrase the question. Sakshana ji, aren't you concerned that the future of the party, and this is a faction because the party NCP, the symbol, the party name is now with, and the majority is with somebody else. Aren't you concerned about the future of the party? Should you not be concerned about Supriya ji's future also? Wouldn't it be better served if she was with the Congress or somebody else now?
I am very sure about party's future, and I believe in Supriyata Sule's leadership. She is not just a MP, she is not just a daughter of Sharad Pawar. She is the best parliamentarian, not for a one time. She won that award for a 7 and 9 time. She is the best parliamentarian. बहुत ही बेहतरीन और बहुत ही तमीज वाली नेता है वो हमारी.
I agree with you. She's a good person. I'm not denying it for her. I've met her a few times. She's a very good person.
लोकसभा में just before 4 months back 8 ही सीटें आई हैं बीजेपी की महाराष्ट्र में, एमपी लोकसभा में, फिर भी उनका आया ना. हमारे 10 हुए, 12 हुए, तो क्या हुआ? हमें पता है आने वाले चुनावों में कॉर्पोरेशन का हो, जिला परिषद का हो, बहुत अच्छी कामयाबी हम हासिल करेंगे, क्योंकि महाराष्ट्र आज भी 84 ईयर्स बाहुबली शरद पवार साहब पे बिलीव करता है. वी बिलीव इन हिम. हमने उनका साथ नहीं छोड़ना है और हम उनका साथ नहीं छोड़ेंगे.
Okay, all right. Okay. Before I get Rakesh Sinha, I'm going to ask my producers, let's have a look for a second at the 5 people who won big today, okay, other than the ones we've already discussed. As an exclamation point for all our viewers to just get a perspective other than the fact that, yeah, the BJP had a sweeping victory in Maharashtra, which is going to be the headline everywhere. So the 5 other people who won big today and have done really, really well. And these people, number one, keep an eye out for Milind Deora. Okay, Milind Deora lost in Worli. Okay, he is a congressman, his father was a union minister, he is a Rajya Sabha MP, he didn't need to fight this election. He joined the Shiv Sena under Shinde to take on Aditya Thackeray, and he gave him a run for his money. Despite the sympathy wave, despite the Lok Sabha performance, Milind Deora losing by only 9,000 votes in Worli. Then Ashok Chavan former Chief Minister of Maharashtra from the Congress, switched sides. His daughter was contesting on a BJP ticket. She has won from the bastion with 43,000 votes. So Ashok Chavan has had a good day. Hemant Soren has had a really good day. Just 6 months ago, he was in jail facing massive corruption charges. His wife had to become chief minister. The Lok Sabha performance didn't go exactly as how the India Alliance would have liked for it to go. But today, he is back. He has led the victory. The Congress is number 2. Hemant Soren becomes chief minister. He is back. So he has had a good day despite the BJP wave that is taking place. Now have a look at this fellow, Varun Sardesai. Now he was a Shiv Sena UBT candidate. He defeated Zishan Siddiqui. Zishan Siddiqui, remember, his father was assassinated last month. He changed his party. But this fellow from the Shiv Sena UBT, when everybody else has been losing from his party, has managed to hold that. And I want to, just for our viewers, just make a note of this man who had almost disappeared from active national politics, Raj Thackeray. Watch out for this guy, because he once upon a time felt he was the chosen one for the Shiv Sena, and it was not Uddhav Thackeray. But Uddhav Thackeray managed to get in. He had to start his own party called the MNS, the Maharashtra Navnirman Sena. It's always only won a few seats here and there, a few councillor elections it fights here and there. But now he's going to be thinking there is room. The Thackeray legacy is up for grabs still. And the votes and the MLAs have gone to Shinde, but there is a Thackeray legacy in Maharashtra, which Uddhav Thackeray perhaps has not been able to represent, of the Marathi strongman, of the Marathi local identity, of the much stronger Hindutva than even the BJP represents. I mean, you talk about Yogi Adityanath being the saffron man of Indian politics. The OG of this was Balasaheb Thackeray. He was the original saffron man of Indian politics. So keep an eye out for all these people. With that,
for more such videos, subscribe to the Newsx YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.